Hello again. In the last lesson, I forgot to mention you guys that our body can also means there are various functions which of our body which can be categorized into class 1, class 2, class 3. Three examples are there. You can read from the book, and all these three examples, I guess, they are very self-explanatory. So first is nodding of head. This is an example of class 1 liver. Then lifting your weight on your toe. Okay, that is one kind of exercise only. That is a force multiplier. And if you are raising a load on your hand, okay, like suppose you are lifting dumbbell or anything you are lifting, this is the fulcrum. Effort will be here, and this is load, so this is called speed multiplier, or this is an example of class 3 liver. Now there are plenty of things. See, staplers are there, fishing rods are there. So there are plenty of example. Read from the book on, don't take like crook. Okay, now see page number 57, question number 24. Okay, so page number 57, question 24. The question says, which type of lever has a mechanical advantage always more than one? Okay, which type of lever? Give reason with one example. What change can be made in this lever to increase its mechanical advantage? Now, if you recall, some of you might think class 1, class 2, but they are asking which type of lever has a mechanical advantage always more than one. So, answer is class 2 lever, and give reason with one example. So, one example will be, let us say, nutcracker. So, this is a nutcracker, fulcrum is here, and suppose the load is here and you are applying effort here. This is load. So this is your effort arm, this is the load arm. So you can see the mechanical advantage is effort arm by load arm, and it is obvious that it will be greater than 1 because effort arm is bigger than load arm. And they are saying that what change can be made in this lever to increase its mechanical advantage. So how you can increase the mechanical advantage more? So I guess you all can think of it by putting the load here, means close to fulcrum, then I can decrease this more, right? Now, so by changing, you can say load arm, effort arm. Suppose you are applying force here only, you can't change effort arm, right? You can only change the load arm. So by making the load arm shorter, right? Okay, now let us move to question number page number 58, question 29. So if you see page number 58, question 29, they are showing you, this is called crowbar, I guess. So you can see the thing is something like this, and somewhere the load is something like this, right? No? So load fulcrum will be this part. It is obvious that if you try to lift this, then this point will not move. This is your load, and this is, suppose you are applying effort here, so this is your effort arm, this is your load arm. What class of lever? So as I told you, FLE, here F is in between this, so this is class 1. Give one more example of the same thing, then you can give an example of give one example, same class of lever stated in part B. Now you can all see this is a force multiplier lever, okay, class 1. So the example will be pliers. One more example will be pliers. Now let us see next numerical 4, page number 59. So to which class of this lever belongs? So you can see F is in between class 1, answer is given, EB is given, find its mechanical advantage and calculate the value of E. So this is your diagram, fulcrum, load and effort. This is B part, this is A part. So you can see this is load arm, this is effort arm. And it is given that hole AB is 1 meter, so AB is 1 meter, AF is 0.4. So this is 0.4, load arm is 0.4. So this is obvious that this will be 0.6 because whole thing is, so this is 0.4. They are telling you to calculate mechanical advantage. It's very simple. Mechanical advantage is effort arm by load arm. You know how much is that? So this is 0.6 divided by this. You all can do it. So it will be 0.6 divided by 0.4. 6 by 4. 2, 3 is 6. So this is 1.5. Calculate the value of E. Load is given 15 kgf. So mechanical advantage, we know mechanical advantage is load by effort. They are telling you to calculate effort. So effort will be load by mechanical advantage. Mechanical advantage you guys put 1.5. Load is 15 kgf. So this is 15 kgf by 1.5. And you guys can sort of see effort will be 10 kgf. Now let us move to numerical 8 of the same page. A lever of length 9 has its load arm this to which a lever of length 9 has load arm this and effort arm this. So if you guys can imagine, this lever has length 9 centimeter and effort arm is also 9 centimeter, effort arm. So it is sure that fulcrum is here and effort is applied here. And load arm is 5 centimeters. So load is somewhere here. Okay, this is your load arm and this is given to be 5 centimeters. They are asking you which draw the diagram which is drawn. Then they are asking you to which class of lever it belongs. So again, if you can recall FLE. So L is in between, this is class 2 lever. Draw the diagram, position and direction of load and effort. So load will act down. And what is the mechanical advantage and velocity ratio? So mechanical advantage, you all can calculate. Mechanical advantage is effort arm by load arm, and effort arm is 9, 5. You all can do this and this will come out to be 1.8. And assuming it to be ideal machine, velocity ratio will be also 1.8. Now, what will be the mechanical advantage, velocity ratio if the efficiency becomes 50%? Now, if you can recall, this question is about if the system is non-ideal, means heat is generated, there are some losses. So in this case we talked about it, and we'll see in the case of pulley that when system becomes from ideal to non-ideal, velocity ratio does not changes. So velocity ratio is 1.8 only. Okay, it is not going to change. Mechanical advantage, velocity ratio, you all can remember this relation. So velocity ratio is not going to change. Mechanical advantage will become efficiency time velocity ratio. Efficiency is 50%. Whenever you do numerical, you have to convert that into point. So 50% means 0.5, velocity ratio is given. So mechanical advantage will turn out to be, you multiply this and it will turn out to be around 0.9. Okay, and to recall you guys, there is no unit with VR, MA and efficiency. Now we are going to do the last numerical for lever. After this you guys have to do all the questions from the book and let me know if you guys can't solve any question. So this is the last numerical, which is numerical 10. So in numerical 10 you have been given a wheelbarrow and some informations are given, and then you have to find all these things, right? So if you see, okay, now you can see this will be the fulcrum, right? Load will be here. So this is the load arm, which is given 20 centimeters, and this from the fulcrum you will apply effort here. This distance is given 40. So the effort arm will be the whole thing. So effort arm, okay, you have to measure it from fulcrum, load arm or effort arm. So this is load arm, this is a effort arm will be 60 centimeter. Mechanical advantage you all can calculate. Mechanical advantage is effort arm by load arm, and you can calculate that. Then the minimum effort required to keep the leg just off the ground. So what is the minimum effort needed? So if you guys remember principle of moment, so effort into effort arm is equal to load into load arm. Okay, now here load arm you know, effort arm you know, you have to calculate E. Yeah, so you have to calculate E here. Now what is load? So you can see mass of wheelbarrow is 15 and load is 30, so total weight will be 45 kgf. Load is 30 kgf plus 15 kgf, that is 45. So if you see from here, effort will be equal to load into load arm by effort, load into load arm by effort arm. So load is 45 kgf, load arm is 20 and effort arm is 60. So 20, 3 is 60, 315. So this is principle of moments. Okay, principle of moments. Okay, thank you. Enjoy physics.